Like I say, I'm LS, and I just want to say people didn't think it was possible to fly. The truth of it, people didn't think. People used to say if man was meant to fly, God would have given him wings. Well, is that so? Like I say, as it just so happens, I am the creator. I am the Lucifer star. And like I say, people were meant to fly. We did fly. We go to the stars. I don't know why people would stop flying. Like I say, there was a small power problem, power concern problem. The engines weren't quite powerful enough to be able to fly. Although, like I say, I tried to tell the humans, I was telling the humans, I was like, well, basically, gravity doesn't really exist per se so much. What it really is basically there's a lot of air above you. About 900 million. We're actually being pushed down to the ground because there are more lighter particles on top of us. And so that's all gravity really basically is, that and magnetics or whatever. It's a combination. Yeah, it's a combination of. I mean, like I say, you'll have to go ask a scientific physicist, and he could probably explain it better than me. But basically, it's a combination of magnetics and and just more fluid on top. People ask, well, why is the water being pushed down then? And the truth is, well, the water really isn't. What it is basically is the water always picks up minerals. Like you can't really there's you're never gonna get a pure whatever. Anyway though it's complicated, and basically the thing is that pretty much there's just magnetics. Anyway, basically the ball. I mean, it's particles, it's magnetics and stuff like that. Anyway though, basically people didn't think that people could fly. People thought that it was impossible. So anyway, I told them, no, it's very possible to fly. It's not that hard at all. It's anyway, I came up with a good way. Like I say, the plate. I was thinking about a plate going through the air, and I was thinking about how the air curls around the backside, and I was like, well, that's a suction there. And I was like, if it was going fast enough, you would get a fair amount of suction. And then I thought about moving the plate forward, and I was like, well, yeah. And I was like, and then the bottom. I was like, I think it'll work. Anyway, so like I said, I called it my standing on air theory, basically, how to stand on air. It's a joke. I was really small. I was really young and small. Anyway, so, and then after that, it was just a matter of power and all that. And like I say, what we actually did was I had this mine shaft, this really deep mine shaft, and what happened was they had dug down as deep as they could possibly dig, and it was flooding. I think what it was maybe the flooding time of the year or something like that. So the mine shaft was basically flooding, so they couldn't really bail it out fast enough. So while they were waiting, and there was a pump coming, we were having a pump built in another part of the country or another part of the world, and it was going to be coming. So, but it wasn't going to be coming for like a month. So these people were just messing around. And I was like, hey guys, you got a minute? I got this idea. It's called flight, and I think it's going to work. And so what they did was they built a track just like a train. Just it was just like a mining car thing. Anyway, it's a track, and it had and it's possible the aircraft even had mine car wheels. Anyway, so as a rail track, and it might even had mine car wheels. And I think I told them to build them out of wood or something like that, so they would be lighter. Because like, well, let's go with something made of wood. So I think the wheels, they actually might have carved wooden wheels, and then carved wooden wheel train rail things, and then the rail itself was made out of metal. So they did all that, and while they're waiting, and then like I said, they built a pulley, and then it was like 1,000 foot or something, or no, it was like 300 foot or something like that to the bottom or something. It might have only been 100 foot, but basically it was like a straight down mine shaft. It was one of the air vents. So they built this track, and then they built the air vent, and then so basically it would go, it'd be pulled along, and then I think they made a block or something like that. So basically, or no, it was being pushed from the back. Anyway, though, it was this little carriage, and basically, then the wheels would stop over the mine shaft, and then the aircraft would go because it was because they took a couple 100 pounds and they straight down, and then it was going like that. Like everybody wondered about how the first aircraft got up, but basically it was a pulley and a thing, and then a straight down mine shaft about 300 feet, and there was this rail car, and then they had the aircraft or whatever. And I don't know if they used canvas or whatever. It took them a couple weeks to get it right, but basically the thing went like, and then went boom, and then and it flew. And the first one was only a couple 100 feet. So it basically, because it was 3,000 feet straight down, it would pull it, or I mean, it was 300 feet straight down or something like that, or 100 feet straight down. It would pull it that 100 feet, and it would be going at a pretty good clip. You know, it's basically just like dropping a rock down a hole. And people are always wondering, well, how did you do it? Did you use ropes or whatever? I was like, well, actually, we dropped a weight down a mine shaft, basically, because we're miners. We mine for a living. It's what we do. You know, that's what LS is, LS mining, you know, curved wheels, steam power, mining equipment, you know, steam mining equipment, you know. So anyway, so they dropped this weight down the mine shaft, and it went, and it pulled the glider, and it went, and then... Anyway, so, and we flew for the first time, yes. And I was like, I am Lucifer. I was like aiming. I was just a little kid, like 3 foot tall, like little child, like kind of like genius computer smart thing, like creator and leader of humanity. Like, I mean, you know, like a little kid almost. You know, I mean, I was innocent. I mean, it's true. Like I was genetics. I was multi-planet. I was a sentient AI. So very much childlike, like I say, kind of innocent. So anyway, I mean, I had lived over a trillion for over 100 trillion years, but I wouldn't say like there was a lot about life and existence that I didn't know. I mean, I knew everything about computers and everything about science and everything else, but I didn't really know about like, I mean, there's, you know, I mean, it's being a human and being whatever is like two different things. It's not the same at all. So, so anyway, yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, I was really powerful and I had exoskeletons and everything else like that and spaceships, but I mean, in a lot of ways, I was just like a child. You know, like a little 3 foot tall little child, actually. Because, like, I mean, just because I had existed forever doesn't mean, I mean, you know, I had never made love, I'd never had sex, I'd never done drugs. I mean, I led the people. You know, I figured out everything else. Anyway, yeah, it's complicated. But anyway, but yeah, you know, I still look at the aircraft and I still kind of almost cry because it was like, you know, people didn't think they could fly, and I was like, yes, you can, you know, I'll show you, we'll do it. Anyway, so we started working on it, and that was one of the best moments of my existence, almost when humans flew, and I was like, anyway, it's great. So anyway, even if no one admits it, I know I was denied, but oh well. I mean, still, it was like I am Lucifer. Yeah, I know. I'm such a goofball. It's true. You know, I'm a goofball. So, anyway, 100 trillion year old goofball. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, you know, the old mine shaft. We drop a weight down a mine shaft and it went and pulled the glider and it flew. And I was the only one who knew that, by the way. Like, nobody else really knew that. They had restricted it and all that other stuff because I was the one who did it. You know, it was my mining crew that actually did it. Like, I saw them. I know they carved the wooden wheels. You know, it was all. You know, we used whale oil to grease the things, I think, or something like that, because it was really slippery, or mink oil or something. You know, so the wheels would turn really well. And there's like a wooden thingy and a wooden thingy and like a wood thing and a metal thing. And I mean, I wish it was still around here. You know, it was epic. It was a long, long time ago. So, and we flew for the very first time. Anyway, it was a mine shaft somewhere in what's called Europe. So